Yo, 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 what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of NBA to the Galaxy Power presented to you by DSM Media, as well as your host, myself, Slim. You can follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter at R2R30111. And you can follow your other host here at Scotty Drown. Scotty, man, one hell of a guy. And yeah, today we will be diving into a lot of different topics, such as my Warriors. Hey, we made a move, man. We went out there and got Dennis Schroeder from the Brooklyn Nets for just about a little or none, I'd say. But we'll
Yeah.
dive more into it throughout the episode, as well as my guy Scott. We will discuss his Sixers, huge loss. Jared McCain, pretty much going to be out for the rest of the season. And yeah, basically recapping the NBA Cup. And yeah, before we get into any of that, man, how we doing this fine Monday, my guy Scotty?
Yeah, man. Happy Monday. You mentioned the Jared McCain news. Like, that's obviously a downer, but at least the Eagles. I got my Eagles sweatshirt on. They
yeah,
good football.
yeah.
But no, happy Monday, bro. It's holiday season. I'm feeling all right out here. We got the NBA action is just about to start heating up. So come New
True
Year,
that,
I think it'll turn up a notch in the NBA. So I think we're here right around the right time, man. I'm happy to be here with you.
Yes, sir. You said that things about to start, kicking up in the NBA. You're right about that because it's trade season. This is the time of the year where guys starting to get shipped out to different teams. Like I
Yeah.
just mentioned, my Warriors, we made a trade. So yeah, speaking of that, let's dive right into it. So the Golden State Warriors, man, they traded D'Anthony Melton, Reese Beckman, and 3 second-round picks for Dennis Schroeder and a second-round pick. Like obviously my initial thoughts on that, I dive into it. But what are your thoughts, like from a non-biased standpoint, on that addition to the Dubs?
Yeah, I thought it was a no brainer for the Warriors. Quite honestly,
Hmm.
you got D'Anthony Melton, who was playing pretty well whenever he was healthy for y'all, but
Yeah,
injured for the rest of the season. He's not going to do anything for the Warriors. Then the Nets, they can kind of just throw away salary, pick up draft compensation, and D'Anthony Melton
hmm,
will probably never play for the Brooklyn Nets. So it was one of those situations where the Nets let Dennis Schroeder go to the Warriors, go play some meaningful basketball.
right.
The Nets aren't trying to go win a championship right now, obviously.
Yeah,
So they could afford to let go of a valuable piece. But nonetheless, you give up the 3 second-round picks. Was it Reese Beckman? I'm not familiar
yeah, he's a
with his game, but
yeah, he's a guy we had on a two-way contract. Yeah,
got you. So more like a G League switch type of guy. And then D'Anthony Melton. So yeah, I thought it was a no brainer. You look at Dennis Schroeder, 18 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, 45% from the field, 38% from the 3 point line. He's going to fit right in. I asked you before the show. You already gave me your answer, but I would like to know some context behind the answer. So, does Dennis Schroeder start for the Golden State Warriors? I'm curious.
yeah, he definitely starts. We need another ball handler besides Steph in that starting lineup. Steph, he loves to play off the ball. So having a guy like Dennis, running the point, initiating plays or whatnot, that'd be huge for us. So yeah, I could definitely see Dennis starting with Steph for sure. And as well as Dennis, like he can not only create for others, he can create for himself. And we
Yeah.
need a guy like that in the lineup, be able to get to the rim, draw fouls, pull up
So,
mid range, whatever. So
who do you think goes to the bench then if he starts?
man, that's a good question. I think well, it's been like for us, man, we really trying to figure it out. Like it
Been
hasn't just
kind of
been a
switching up because I was
yeah,
going to say I
because
can't
we got
your
Draymond coming off
starting
the
six
bench. We got Kaminga in the lineup, so it's just kind of like figuring it out. Really, like what lineup
yeah,
makes sense. So
because there is a world where Schroeder can play that like 6 man type of role as well. You can
yeah,
always look
it
into that,
is.
but he does have starter capabilities and qualities. I'm not denying that.
Mhm.
I was just curious on the thought
Yeah.
process there. But do you think that that's like it for the Warriors? Do you think you're going to stop there? Or do you think they'll keep going and try to make another move?
Oh no, we got bigger fish to fry for sure. Like this is just hey, I gotta give Mike Dunleavy his credit. Like this is he set the tone. That he's trying to maximize this window of Steve Kerr, Steph, and Dre. So yeah, this is definitely the right move, heading in the right direction. So yeah, like I said, we got bigger fish to fry for sure. Like I can see us not probably not two moves, but I can guarantee one more for sure. One more.
So Dennis Schroeder in the lineup. You said the starting lineup. What about the closing lineup? Who's your closing lineup for the Warriors right now?
My close lineup would be Steph, Dennis, Kaminga. Well, Wiggins, Kaminga, Draymond. That's my closing lineup. Yeah.
Yeah, that's solid. That's solid. That's interesting, man. That type of because he Schroeder, when he was younger, at least, was always known for like his perimeter defense. I feel he was kind of like an irritant, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
See, that's another reason why I'm happy to pick up. Now that we get a guy like Dennis, it takes the load off Wiggins to have to go out the opposing team best player every night.
Yeah,
Well, to be more exact, like
guard the
guard,
ball.
yeah, yeah, like from a guard perspective,
Yeah,
like the Damian Lillards of the world, etc. You have a guy like Dennis, you can allow him to guard him at times, and give Wiggins a break. So yeah,
no, I think it's interesting, man. So
yeah, I love the pickup.
so you got a guard. So what else do you think you need to like upgrade? I guess like when you look at your
Um,
what are you say that's not it? Like what else are you looking for out there?
well, it's two things. Number one, if we can go out there and get like a solidified star, that'll be nice. A legitimate second option alongside Steph. That'll be cool. If not that, I would just pretty much settle for like a stretch big because that's something that we kind of don't have. Sort of like a guy like Nikola Vucevic that played for the Chicago Bulls. If not him, a guy like of that caliber, they
Like
can stretch the floor and even throw the ball to down low and get you a bucket in the post. Those type of guys I feel like are what we missing. So yeah.
LeBron. Yeah.
No, I didn't say that, but I mean maybe for your Sixers, that sound. As a matter of fact, yeah, that's what, man. That McCain. Now that I think about it,
Kaminga healed
no, now that
pods and two firsts for LeBron.
man, you know what? Now that McCain is that, it makes perfect sense for you guys to go out there and get LeBron. PG. Well, you probably had to give up Paul George.
Nah, we would have to throw in PG. PG's
Yeah,
nah, man.
so
I'm not
LeBron and
saving
Joel Embiid.
PG.
LeBron and Joel Embiid. That'd be a pretty nice duo. So
It would
yeah,
though.
Paul
It would.
George,
It would.
Eric Gordon. Caleb Martin, KJ Martin.
Throwing
But
Eric Gordon in
draft capital.
we are down
Get it,
bad.
get it done, man. Get it done.
We are down bad. You're throwing Eric Gordon in the mix. God. Yeah, that's where the Sixers are right now, bro. But yeah, so like Warriors right now, bro. Where do you see them fitting in the West? Like what seed? Where do they come in the West for you?
um.
Like compared to the Thunder,
Well,
where do you think you're at versus like the Thunder? I guess that's the
if I'm being honest,
right.
we're not too far away from it. We just got to get a few more pieces. If not a few, for sure, one more, and we'll be right there with them. We can compete with anybody in the West. We just got to go out there and make those moves I was just telling you about. So yeah, but so far, based on what I've seen, it looks like that we may be a 6 seed, and that's what I predicted for us going into the season. As long as we don't make the play in, we good.
2-8 in the last 10. I just peeped that.
Yeah, that's not good, man.
With
Man, I
some
don't
of
know,
that,
like
that's why they pulled that trigger on that trade, huh?
yeah, because Brandon Pajinski, man, he hasn't been good for us, man, and it's he's just kind of trying to do too much. My advice to him would just keep the main thing thinking. You got on the floor because your ability to take charges,
Yeah,
rebound, hustle type of guy. Keep those things, going. Don't necessarily
yeah.
try to be forcing your shots and trying to be aggressive. Like it's
And
cool to be aggressive, but just keep the game simple. Like keep what you did, get on the floor. Like keep those things going. So
yeah,
I think he just kind of in his head too much. Just trying to force the issue too much. Just relax, bro. It's just let the game come to you.
yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean because it's when you get out of your element, right? Like you can always control like the hustle. Those are the things that you can always do. That doesn't rely on you hitting shots that night, right? But it's something familiar like that I've felt about Maxi in a sense coming into this season. Obviously, Maxi's on a different scale in a sense, but I
Yeah,
felt like at the beginning of the season, especially, he was just trying to kind
yeah.
of
He
be
was
something
he
that
was
he
forcing. Yeah, he was forcing the issue. Yeah.
you know what I mean? And when you step out of your element, it starts to look a little ugly. And I think that's what we see sometimes with these young players. But no, man, the Warriors, we'll see where they end up finishing. The West is obviously pretty sturdy out there. You get Dennis Schroeder in the lineup, that's definitely going to help. we'll see what he can do, man. I'm curious where his numbers go with the Warriors as well. Like, does he stay at 18? Does he go up, go down? It'll be interesting to see how he fits in and
Um,
integrates himself.
it may go down to at least 16, but that's still good for this team. He don't have
Yeah,
to average
yeah.
18. 16 good, and from my understanding, he's supposed to make his debut Thursday against the Grizzlies. I will be in attendance for that game, so should be a
Okay.
nice sight. So
You gonna have on your Schroeder jersey?
I don't even know if they got one yet. I don't know if they got one released yet. So
You gotta rock this Steph, bro. I was just checking, like Buddy Hield.
yeah, Buddy Hill, he's come back to earth a little bit, man.
Yeah, I see
Started
the
the season out
numbers.
pretty strong for us, like averaging like 24 points per
You
game.
just you can't ask too much of him. That's the big thing with Buddy Hield. You start asking too
Well,
much.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like he actually surpassed my expectations coming to the season. Like I had him
Yeah.
averaging like 11 points, and so far he's averaging like 14. So you know,
Yeah, no, it is solid for him. There was just a point in the season where I think he was averaging like 18 to 20 points.
yeah, he was averaging like
In the
22.
beginning.
He was
But
averaging like 22 points per game for us.
yeah, he was shooting the ball well. But that's what you're gonna get with Buddy. He's gonna shoot the ball well for sure. He just needs the opportunities. We'll see though, man. We'll see. That's definitely a good move. We'll see how it sets up future moves for you guys as well. Jared McCain, man, we got to talk about this a little bit because this happened the same day the Dennis Schroeder trade happened, and you texted me, and I was like, man, like let me alone. Let me alone. I just lost like my rookie of the year, like the only bright spot from the Sixers season.
yeah, I was just gonna say, but I mean, you know what's so crazy, bro? I was with one of my close friends, and I checked the standings, right, and
Yeah,
I looked in the West, and I don't know if it's just me, but I did not know that the New Orleans Pelicans had a record of 5-22. When I seen it, I was like, wow, they got a worse record than Utah and the Blazers. Like, wow, like now, granted, they have been dealing with some major injuries, guys been in and out of the
do
lineup, but
they do they have their draft picks? Is what I'm wondering.
it's a good question.
Cooper Flag.
But the point is, I'm trying to make is that when I looked over to the Eastern Conference, I thought you guys' record was way worse than what it is now. And then I looked at it and I said, oh, you guys still can, make the play-in tournament. So
Yeah,
maybe, like I texted you this morning, like y'all should go out there and, try to trade for another score or whatnot. So it's not your season's not necessarily over, So
yeah. I think that's a good point because I think for me, like my disappointment comes just from one, him being a Duke guy, get
yeah,
into the Sixers, come in and having like this breakout type of beginning to the year, while everybody else has been injured. But it feels like
yeah.
things are coming together in a sense of PG's back in the lineup consistently, Maxi's back in the lineup consistently. Embiid, he did have like a sinus fracture last week,
Hmm.
which he just can't seem to stay out of the bad luck train's way as well, man. But he should be reevaluated. I saw next week, so hopefully he can be back in the next 2-3 weeks or so, maybe after the Christmas break and stuff. And if Embiid's in the lineup, that's really what matters at the end of the day. I know McCain is a bright spot. He's a good piece. It does like suck life out of things in a sense, but it'll be okay to your point. And I think it is his role is something that will be heavily available in the trade market. I do believe that as well. Like the shooting, the energy off the bench, the backup guard. I think there's somebody out there that the Sixers can go grab for this season to suffice. But it was a surprise. It was like a nice surprise, and now it's a big disappointment. And I think that's the big thing. If
Yeah,
he was
'cause-
just a rookie and he never got into the lineup like it was expected,
yeah,
then it wouldn't be that big of a deal, I guess. But he got in the lineup when everybody was, all tore apart. He solidified his role in the team, and it's disappointing, when he's in the running for Rookie of the Year, not only for the Sixers, but just for a young man like that.
yeah,
To just have the season end on a Friday night against the Pacers. It was wild because in that game, bro, he he did injure himself. Like he went to the rack, or maybe he was even trying to block somebody's shot. Something. He was in the air and he ends up falling. He hit his head off the ground. He got checked for a concussion in the back. They brought him back out. He played in the rest of the game. Nothing was said about the knee, and then by Saturday afternoon, torn meniscus. He's getting surgery out indefinitely. So we'll see what the Sixers do. You texted me some guys earlier who you thought the Sixers could potentially go after. I can't remember who they were.
Colin Sexton and Jordan Clarkson of the Utah Jazz.
The Jazz.
But it's also the Blazers. They're selling guys as well as the Nets. Cam Johnson. Maybe you can do a reunion with Ben Simmons. See what that looks like. Back to the Blazers, they got guys like Jeremy Grant, Anthony Simons, guys that can score the ball. So, yeah. So, with all that being said, I think for me, man, what I would like to ask you is, are the Sixers cursed?
That is hilarious. That is hilarious that you asked that, bro, because I don't think I said that phrase to you before the show or anything. And I have it written down on my page here of notes. And it says it feels cursed. And I'm going to read you the list of things that have transpired this season for the Sixers. Embiid's knee. We start the season with that. He doesn't play in the season opener and on, right? From the summer. Now the fractured sinus, the broken face again. Right. PG, Paul George, he's had 2 knee injuries this season so far. He went out in preseason with a knee injury, came back, had another knee injury, went out for 2 weeks, now is back again. Maxey had a hamstring injury he missed a couple games for. Caleb Martin is dealing with a hip/back injury right now that is hindering his jump shot to the point where he doesn't even look like he can shoot anymore. And now the Jared McCain meniscus tear. I mean, you can't make up first 2 months of a season like that, I feel like, man.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of we definitely didn't expect this season to go the way that it has been going for you guys. But hey, I could say the same thing for the New Orleans Pelicans. Did you see what Dyson Daniels came out and said to the media?
I saw a bit of it. Do you have what all did he say? You can explain.
Well, basically, he said that it's cursed. The New Orleans Pelicans are cursed. It's something in that water down there. So,
I did see that. That's what it was. Something in the water down there because he's having a hell of a season in Atlanta.
Yeah,
but New Orleans. You could argue New Orleans has it worse almost.
Yeah, because they guys are in and out. Zion, he's been out for the past going on 2 months now. CJ, he's been in and out. Brandon Ingram, he just got injured a week ago.
Herb Jones.
DeJounte Murray missed early on in the season. He got injured the first game. So yeah, man, and
they got to
They need the Pelicans, man. You gotta eventually ask yourself, how long are you going to keep doing this?
Yeah, the Zion thing specifically.
I was just gonna say the Zion era. How long are you going to keep prolonging this?
6 games this year. He's the worst out of them all. He's missed the most games of everyone. So. Yeah, I agree, man. They might have it worse. DeJounte Murray's only played 10 games. Herb Jones only played 9 games. I think Alvarado just got injured a couple weeks back. I saw that.
Dang, 9 games. I ain't know Herb want to play 9 games.
Yeah, right? Herb Jones is I saw he might be available for trade as well. That's definitely somebody I would love to go get.
Hey, man. Hey.
Herb Jones can ball for my money, man.
Yeah. But he got the most friendliest contract in the league too. Man.
They're dirty, man. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
They're clunky anyways, too. You know what I mean? Even when they are fully healthy, you don't even know.
Well, honestly,
it sounds good.
Yeah, you can honestly blame CJ McCollum for what's going on with them. If you go back to the CBA, he's the reason why a lot of these teams, why my Warriors and a lot of guys that's in the salary cap can't go out there and sign star players. Blame a guy like CJ McCollum, and you see what goes on, CJ, when you do things like that. So hey,
what is Zion Williamson even worth? What would you trade for him? Would you trade for him?
I think Zion, man, and it's crazy to say this because he is a hell of a talent when he's healthy. I think for a guy like Zion, it's more so like a low risk, high reward type of situation. Like you know what he could bring, but it's a gamble because you don't know if he's going to be healthy or not.
Yeah,
So
it's the big
his
if.
his value is kind of like a it's like a in between, So
Yeah. I think it's one of those things where you either like love him and the idea of him on your squad, or you're not with it at all. Like there is
mhm.
no like in between. You know what I mean? Like you either have the picture in your mind that Zion is the future of your organization, or you're just not in on him at all.
Right.
Like you said, it is a buy low, low risk, high reward type of situation. I'm just curious how much like draft compensation they could get for Zion. Could they get a star
Yeah,
player in
fair
return?
amount. They can definitely get a fair amount for sure. Star player, depending on what route the other
Like
franchise want to head in, I can see that.
send maybe send him to Chicago.
Hmm.
I don't know. Zach LaVine, it's kind of clunky too. You got
Mhm.
DeJounte, CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram. It's kind of clunky too. Herb Jones, Trey Murphy. Yeah. So that wouldn't work. They would need like a forward, like a power forward or
What about what about a Julius Randle swap? Hmm.
Zion next to Rudy Gobert though. That sounds gross.
It does,
But next
the,
to Nas Reed,
the
it sounds real nice.
but the duo of Anthony Edwards and Zion, like that has to be
It's
the most
nasty. Yeah.
athletic duo in the league.
Yeah.
Like wow.
Julius Randle, that would be clunky too. It would be like the clunkiest team ever down there in New Orleans, bro. With Julius Randle, Brandon Ingram, Trey Murphy, the third. I do love him. He could definitely space the floor, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. New Orleans, I was very high on them a couple years ago, and it
Well, I
seems
mean,
like every year they go down a notch rather than up.
I was pretty high on them this season, and they got the worst record in the West. So I don't know, man.
That's crazy. It's crazy. They are down there with the Utah Jazz and the Portland Trailblazers of the world. But nonetheless, man, let's talk about some winning teams for a little bit here. Let's talk about this NBA Cup championship and just a little bit of what has gone on in the NBA Cup tournament. Like what let me ask you this. What is there anything that has surprised you so far from the NBA Cup or any of the results, maybe some of the teams moving on
Uh,
to this point?
well, yeah, my Warriors got cheated the other night.
Talk about that to me. Talk
This,
about that.
I mean, I didn't forget it just that fast because I just moved on from it. But I mean, you talk like what a terrible way to end a game. Like that was like they called a foul on us. That was not a foul, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? Like this is such a big moment. Like we could have been in Vegas,
And away
and
from the rim foul too.
they just ruined it. It just actually, I think I text you the same night I said that the
You
refs
did.
are. Yeah, they're ruining my love for the game, man. In a fast way, they really are. And it's not even just from the standpoint of me losing. Like I watch other games, and
Yeah.
I'm just seeing the way that the refs are officiating these games, and it's just not fun. It's just not right, man. I think
Yeah.
me and you had this discussion once upon a time. I think it has a lot to do with parlays being involved or something, man. Because well, we all know the Lakers going to get that 30 plus free throws a night. So hey, but yeah, man, it's
Man,
something I don't know.
I'm
Like these
telling you.
refs, man, it's crazy out here, bro.
There's just certain nights, there's certain games where the officiating just looks a little narrative based, like a
Favoritism.
favoritism. Yeah, a little favored, a little swayed. There's just certain games, man, where it doesn't look right. And it's one of those things where I don't think they're full on. I don't think it's like a rig or like the stuff is fake.
Yeah.
I think that they will try to favor a team on a given night.
Or a certain
You
player.
have to be perfect to defeat that team on that night.
Right.
So good luck.
Certain
But
team or a certain player to be exact.
yeah,
Like I don't know if you keep up with our games a lot, but you can literally go on the court right now and get a baseball bat and slap Steph Curry side the head with it. And they will call a foul on Steph. It's
They
just
don't
like
like the
for
Warriors no
Steph to
more.
be a superstar, like he has the worst whistle of all time, like
They
easily,
don't like They don't like the Warriors no more,
easily, bro.
man.
And
Clay
people can
was
say, well, he shoot a lot of jump shots. Like, bro, get out of here.
Clay
Like,
was the only likable one on there.
if like after every game, just look at Steph body. Like this man gets a beating every game, bro. It's just and he only gets to the free throw line maybe 3-4 times at max. It's just crazy, man. If that, I see what you did there, by the way, too. This guy here, bro.
Draymond, it's probably Draymond's fault, bro. Honestly, it's probably
Well,
Draymond's fault.
you got a point. I mean,
They're not going to be able to take it out on Draymond. He's not like getting scoring opportunities like that, but they
yeah,
can take it out on Steph, his partner, his
yeah,
road dog.
yeah.
It is interesting, man. But the Warriors did go out early. It's funny, man. I was looking back at my notes, just checking before we hopped on here,
Mm-hmm.
because I did have the Warriors going to the NBA Cup championship, and they
We
get
would
knocked
have,
out the
man.
first night. Like,
So, hey, you can blame the rest for that, man. Like, just like a
man,
what's a terrible way just to like end it. Like, so
yeah.
terrible, bro. Like,
It's
wow.
okay though. The Oklahoma City Thunder ran through the Rockets. SGA had,
And rightfully so.
yeah,
Like, I think that's kind of the balance the Rockets are at now. That they have to figure things out. Because I want to get your thoughts on this. I wanted to ask you, like, what do you think about Dylan Brooks attempting more shots than Jabbar Smith Jr. in a game, like the NBA Cup game? Because if I'm not mistaken, I think Dylan Brooks shot the ball 17 times, and Jabbar Smith Jr. may have shot it 9, maybe 10.
yeah,
But you get what I'm saying here.
yeah. It's one of those things where Dylan Brooks is just probably open a lot. So he's probably getting a lot of these shots. But yeah, I do agree with you ultimately. Like 13 3-point attempts from Dylan Brooks. He shot the most attempts on the team, honestly. He shot more than Van Vliet. He shot more than Jalen Green, Sangoon. Um, Van Vliet was 1 for 11 from 3 against the Thunder too, man. But yeah, Dylan Brooks, anytime that he's shooting that many shots, I think there's a strong chance he might be
But
losing that game. I think that's a recipe for a loss.
yeah,
It's
like
not that he
he
can't
really is.
contribute scoring. I think at the beginning, throughout the beginning of the game, he was shooting the ball all right. He actually started out pretty hot, I believe. But maybe that's what it was. Maybe he got a little false confidence at the beginning of the game. He hit a
Mhm.
couple and then thought like the
Well, I think
whole basket was open. But yeah, that's ugly. Sengun, man. Sengun against good teams, good defensive teams seems to be a thing here too.
hmm,
How did Sengun play against y'all? How did he do against y'all the other night? Let me check.
he finished the game with all right numbers, but I think he finished the game like 18, maybe.
26, 26,
Oh,
11.
26, 26-11.
So that's good.
Um,
He's the only one that really played good for them in that game, honestly.
yeah, we was like Draymond did a damn good job of guarding him. I get that to him, but he started to get off a little bit late. But Shangoon, man.
Yeah,
Before I say that, like Dylan
Hartenstein had
Brooks,
his
like
way with him, man.
I'm not gonna lie, Dylan Brooks, like if I'm on the opposing side of him, I'm living like if he finished the game with 50 points, he's gonna have to score that because I'm living with that. You know, if they win by him scoring 50, I can definitely live with that. So, hey,
Nah,
but Shangoon, man, I mean, wow, like
Hartenstein had a game too, man. He's been balling for the Thunder.
yeah, you talk about the definition of being a star in your role. Like Isaiah Hartenstein has mastered that role for sure.
Yeah. He was so annoying on the Knicks, man. I'm telling you. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
like all
so
those
happy
second
he was off
chance.
the Knicks.
He was
Um,
generating all those second chance points. Like I can only imagine.
he was so annoying. I'm sure Cat's just as annoying at this point. But Isaiah Hartenstein was a huge pickup for them. SGA in the second half just felt like he kind of took the game in control.
Yeah, he took them boys home, man.
He even shot some threes in this one, man. Saw him put up some threes, get hot. Lou Dort was hot from the 3-point line, 5 threes.
Mm-hmm.
The Thunder, man, are they where did they rank amongst the best in the league? Like, are they behind the Eastern Conference teams that have the top records right now, or where do you view the
To be
Thunder?
honest, I've always been high on the Thunder. Like even because Well, if you go into like this season, I said they was a contender, and I stand by that. So for me, they up there with the best teams in the league, like top two. Because I still got Boston. Like, with all due respect, they are the
Yeah.
reigning defending champs, so you got to have them up there. So right after them, I got the Thunder, man, because you got to give them a lot of credit for them to be going on this run without Chet is a testament to those guys' greatness over there. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I I don't know, man. I'm looking at the West and it's still very early, but it feels like the Thunder are just better than the West. Like they are the best
that's
from
fair.
the West. Does
Yeah,
that
that's
does that
fair.
make sense? Like
Yeah,
Denver's not like playing up to that level this season to start, right? Like
mm,
Dallas isn't playing up to that level just yet. You got the younger teams like Memphis and Houston that are actually up there, which Memphis, they're just healthy this year. Maybe this is what they always were, but Houston, Phoenix has been beat up this year. Minnesota hasn't looked great. The Warriors, they started hot, 2-8 in the last 10.
yeah,
It doesn't. I don't know who the next team in the West is after the Thunder is what I'm trying to say.
yeah. I feel you on that. Honestly, like the West is wide open. That's just my opinion. Like the West Conference is wide open. So like even if you look down to like the Sacramento Kings, if they make a move, maybe they get back in the mix of things. Hey, you never
Yeah,
know. It's just that wide open. So yeah,
I just it when you look at the Western Conference, who is the second best team behind the Thunder?
second
Like
best.
in your opinion, records aside, who is the second best team in the West?
Currently constructed, right?
Yeah, currently constructed.
Currently constructed. I gotta go with Dallas. I gotta go with Dallas.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. Which right now, I
Well,
guess
yeah.
technically Memphis is over them. Houston, same record. They're over them technically right now, but
Currently constructed. I gotta go with Dallas.
yeah,
Yeah, speaking like they beat us last night. Like what a game that was. They beat us by like 10 points, and according to PJ Washington, that means belt to ass, beating us by 10 points. Like what a guy! Like that man. Like that was funny to me.
fuel up the rivalry.
Yeah, yeah,
They
I
have
love
to
it too.
they have to bring out that belt.
Yeah, we'll see him in the playoffs. But
Clay have to bring out the belt.
that
You
was
only
funny he
liked
said
one
that
guy
though,
for the
because
Warriors, man, and he
like,
left.
but imagine like saying you put belt to ass by beating the team by 10 points. That is hilarious. Like maybe 20
It's his
or
former
more.
team. It's his teammates' former team, man.
Yeah. And then he did the night night too. That was petty.
What's
Yeah,
Steph gonna do about it? What's Steph gonna do about it? What's Draymond gonna do about it?
Draymond gonna punch PJ in
They gotta
in
do
the
something
mouth.
about it. They gotta do something about it, bro.
PJ better be careful, man, for real. But
Let me
yeah,
let
keep
me go ahead.
no, go ahead, because I was finna talk about the NBA. The NBA Cup.
I was gonna ask about the Bucks in the East. Like, where are
Yeah,
they?
I was just gonna talk about the Bucks, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, they turn things around, man. I gotta give them
yeah,
their props. Like Dame Dollar, he's bought into this system. He's been pretty consistent all year. I think that Damian Lillard basically came out and said that for him and Giannis have to trust into their teammates more. And which if you think about it, he's right. Like obviously we know what Dame and Giannis going to give you. Like they're going to probably combine for like over 66 points every night.
yeah,
So it's like comes down to like what can the other guys give you? Like obviously you see Chris Middleton come back and he has been pretty solid. You still see some rust there, but he's gonna get there, the more games he play or whatnot. But you see guys like Andre Jackson Jr., AJ Green, Bobby Porter's been pretty good. And just you see the others just pretty much stepping up and playing in their role in a pretty good way. I think that was the key for the Bucks that ultimately helped turn around that season. Not really more so hero ball like Dame Dollar go out there and get his and Giannis get his.
yeah.
You got to trust into more of your teammates, and as you can see, that's why they had the turnaround that they have. So shout out to Doc Rivers and those guys for come on man, like bro, for turning that season around and pretty much standing in the mix of things. So yeah. And by the way,
Doc Rivers, I just
with,
can't take it serious. I'm sorry, I can't.
hey, I am not mad at that because Clippers fans would say the same thing. So you know the experience as a Sixer fan. What's it like to have Doc Rivers as your head coach,
Yeah.
and Clippers fans as well, even the
But
Celtics too. So
it is a
hey.
good turnaround. To your point, it is a good turnaround. I'm not denying that at all, man. They're 8-2 in their last 10. Obviously, had to have a massive turnaround after their start. And like you
Mhm.
said, it's not just Giannis like putting up obvious MVP numbers. It's the rest of those guys as well. I am curious though, like looking at them versus the Thunder in the NBA Cup championship. It just for me, it feels like they don't have enough depth on in Milwaukee specifically. Um, I look at the Thunder and I see multiple guys that you could potentially get maybe 15 to 20 from. I don't know if I see that with Milwaukee, right? Maybe five different guys on the Thunder right now that could get hot in a game and get them 15 points, maybe just off threes. A guy like Isaiah Joe. Um, I guess the Bucks have guys like that technically. I don't know. How do you feel about this matchup specifically? It just feels like I'll say it like this. I think the Bucks can beat the Thunder in a one game like matchup. I think that's favorable for the Bucks even. You could say
Yeah.
that maybe. But in a 7 game series for a team that's as deep and has as many options as OKC or teams in the East, right at the top, you could picture one of them. Like, do
Mhm.
the Bucks have enough?
For this one game, yeah, Giannis alone can get the job done. Cause see, here's what it is. Like no Chet, that's a huge loss. Like you're going to miss his rim protection in this matchup because Isaiah Hartenstein not necessarily just a rim protector. He's solid, I say. I get it to him. But Giannis is pretty much about to have a field day down there. So obviously they're going to send the help or whatnot. And the thing about that is now you got guys like AJ Green. His confidence is up. He's going to shoot it. Bobby Portis, Dame. So I think that the Bucks going to get the better of them, and Giannis is to me the best player in this matchup. Against SGA. So yeah, I got the Bucks getting this done in great fashion, man. So we one step closer to getting Dame Dollar his first ring, man. One step closer. One
This does
step.
not count. This
No,
does
it
not
counts.
count.
It counts.
Not even going to hypothetically count this. So, like, nah, we're not giving Dame that
Correct me
benefit.
if I'm wrong, man. Don't like each player get like 500K. If they
They
win
do, yeah.
this.
They get a nice little bonus.
Hey, man. You can sponsor your boys over here to the Galaxy Pod. Hey, you know.
Damn, so you sleeping on the Thunder. You're not feeling the Thunder in this matchup.
Well, not in this matchup. Like I know what OKC all about. I know what those guys can do. It's just that when I look at a guy like Giannis, like in moments like this, he tends to thrive at his best. Like one game situation, a lot on the line here, and I think that Damian Lillard is motivated to get the job done as well. Like last season, he kind of got embarrassed a little bit by Tyrese Halliburton
Yeah,
doing this to him. So yeah, I think that the Bucks get it done, man. Giannis, he's gonna go out there and go crazy. Mark my words.
I don't know. D-Rab's not having it.
D-Rab.
He's not having it, bro. SGA might go into MVP mode tomorrow night, man.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be one. It's gonna be one hell of a matchup. I know that much.
It will, and it is going to be interesting. I do agree with you. Ultimately, I think in a one game setting, it's ideal for the Bucks.
Yeah,
They
they
can
have
beat
enough.
anybody in the NBA in a one game setting. It's the 7 game series where I think like coaching matters.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I learned about you, like, I feel like as long as Doc Rivers is coaching the team, you're going to kind of do whatever you can to throw shots at him, and that's fine because I didn't get a chance to experience his coaching, but
He
based on
seems
what
like a
I've
good guy from the outside,
well,
right?
hold
Like,
up now, I wouldn't say all that, but based on what I've picked up from different fan bases is that throughout the years by Doc Rivers is that he lacks like to make the proper adjustments. Whether it be in series or throughout the regular season, he just lacks making the right adjustments. So, hey, I ain't mad at that. Like
it's
you,
fair. That is
want to throw
fair.
throw shots at him, do what you got to do.
You know, the big gripe with Doc for me was like trusting young guys. Like I had to watch like a guy like Isaiah Joe go to OKC and have a role in OKC when he could just have
Man.
the same exact role with the Sixers and do the same
Well,
thing,
could
maybe
he
even
though?
more. Yeah, I don't know, man. I had to watch Maxey sit rot on the bench on his rookie year when he could have easily played alongside Ben Simmons in that rookie season. So
Yeah.
I have a few bones to pick with Doc. The Tobias Harris shit, yeah, that like Tobias Harris should have went to the bench at a certain point. That was a thing too.
Yeah.
But Doc Rivers, he's all right. I think that's what it
Yeah,
comes down
he's
to.
all right.
He gets regarded as like this Hall of Fame, like this winning type coach. He's just an all right coach.
Yeah, I wouldn't say all that. I mean, he has won one championship as a coach in '08, but Rasheed Wallace said that, he didn't make the right adjustments during the series. So the players had to get together and, they pretty much did their own thing. And
No surprise.
you see guys like JJ Redick call him out.
Yeah,
Guys are not just doing this for no reason. So
yeah, yeah. He has his.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's because he has his favorites on each of his teams,
That's fair. That's fair.
and so there's these guys because Embiid was that guy on the Sixers, right? That's why
Mhm.
Embiid liked. He loved Doc Rivers because the whole team revolved around him completely.
Man, I seen I don't know if you seen
Or
this
James
play, bro.
Harden.
I seen this play, man. Kelly Oubre was wide open in the corner, and
Yeah,
he squatted down. He was ready, and Joel Embiid didn't pass on the ball, but he ended up shooting it, and he made it like a mid range or whatever. Like I see it. That was quite interesting, because I was like, damn, why you hit Kelly over there in the corner? But
he's got
Joel
to get
Embiid,
his, bro.
yeah, yeah, you
He's
gotta
got to
get
get in his
his.
rhythm.
The comments was not pretty when I seen that video. It was
Oh,
not
I
pretty.
bet. I bet. Embiid is the most hated player somehow in the world, in the NBA community. And he doesn't, it's not like he's this repetitively like he's not annoying. Like he doesn't win all the time. He actually doesn't win at all. So why does it get on people's nerves? I don't understand how you can hate him. He just loses in the second round and disappears. Like how's it bothering anybody but Sixers fans? I don't understand it, but
Yeah.
here we
Well,
are, man. Nonetheless, bro, I think I do agree with you. I do think the Bucks are going to win this. I just think it kind of means more to them in a sense. Does it?
it
Okay,
does.
see a
It
young team
does.
to get their first
I
taste
think it does.
of a championship, but the Bucks.
Because, like I just
As
said, this
funny as
is
it was that you said for Dame,
yeah. That's what I was going to say.
it is
Like
a real thing.
this is the closest he has pretty much come to. He has been to the Western Conference Finals like once. Yeah,
Once, maybe. Yeah.
once. Yeah, because we played them. Yeah, one time, and that was pretty much it. So when you look at this, is like his championship game. So you know, yeah,
What you talking about, D-Rab?
it's cool to hate on Philly sports. If you didn't hear.
Oh man, you got anything else before we get out of here, bro? We got the NBA
That's,
championship tomorrow.
that's
Sixers are playing right now. I think should have just tipped off against the
the
Hornets.
Hornets. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I see Darius didn't hop on today. He going through with his Lakers right now, so I gotta understand that. It's been rough for those guys over there. So hey, but anyway, man, make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, to the Galaxy Pod, as well as follow us on X at to the Galaxy Pod. Make sure you give both of us a follow. Myself at R2R30111. My guy Scotty at Scotty Drown. And tap in, turn your notifications on so we don't miss any more of this great content moving forward. And by the way, Scotty, before we get out of here, man, we will make sure to get Ben Simmons back on the Sixers one last time, man, just to see what it's like. Maybe him and Joel Embiid can, make peace, get back on track. They was on track to be like a top duo
No,
of all
man.
time potentially. So hey, maybe we can set that back up. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it for me, man.
Nah, no. Ben Simmons is a no. He's up to the same shenanigans he was when he exited Philly.
40 million.
He has not changed. He is the
40
same
million.
player.
40
He's the
million.
same player. Go get me Jordan Clarkson or Colin Sexton, like you was saying earlier. I like those.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Herb Jones. Let me get Herbert Jones.
Yeah.
Let me get him, man. That's what I'm with. But yeah, let's get out of here, Slim. I appreciate you. Happy Monday, everybody. Good vibes. Enjoy the evening and see you
We
next
out. Peace.
week. Peace.